Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime Primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I would clean that bone about as good as anything.
Matt Hayes.
The guys they had last year, terrible.
And Leon Searcy.
Mama know that when you get to camp, you ain't gonna see a lot of Big Daddy.
How you like me now?
Oh, I miss Big Daddy right now. Big Daddy was going to be here, but he's off yesterday and today. And so he's kind of getting the weekend going early, and we're getting the weekend going for you here at beautiful TPC Sawgrass. It's such a pleasure to be out here. That's number one. And this leaderboard is stacked. And so we're going to get into it today. But we got plenty to get into, some football, some golf, everything's going on. I look and I see the smiling faces of Matt Hayes, maybe in a little slightly better mood today versus the traffic.
Was worse. But it's so good here.
The traffic was worse, but still not as bad.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, not as bad.
It's awesome here.
And Coach Campo, with his smiling face, he's here.
Listen, I just waltzed in here. Coming down Palm Valley, I come in the back way. It's beautiful.
Are you trying to taunt me? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I'm trying to. You and I have a lovely, friendly
relationship,
competitiveness.
And then I see the pride of Bradford County, Stark's own Stapes, rolling in here. We've seen so many people that have come up to say hello.
Great.
Yeah, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. So love seeing everybody, especially if you are out and about. We have the AirPods in a lot of people's ears, which means they're listening probably to 1010XL. Palm Valley Village, right behind 9 Green.
Yeah.
It's easy to find. It might be a good place to pick up a dog. I see my man with a little sawgrass splash right there, so he's ready to go. Cold ones, they have them everywhere.
I'm telling you right now, I think it's the busiest Friday I've seen here.
You serious?
I really do.
I think every Friday makes you think it's the busiest Friday. I agree with you.
I mean, it's crazy today.
It is. And it's so funny. I was out at 17 earlier, and I was over to PJ Tour Studios and coming back and whatnot. Anyway, compared to yesterday, 17 was packed.
Yeah.
Packed. And we've seen some great shots there. The pin is at the bottom. It's perfect for a hole-in-one. I don't know if we'll get one today, but they usually tuck it down there a couple times during the week, and they want to see if they can get an ace out of it. And they were very close with a number of shots today. So just such a beautiful setup. Coach, you came walking in. What did you think as far as
It's fantastic. You know, I lived right here on the course at one time, so I've been coming for not every year, but going way back, and it's nothing like it used to be back in the day. And I'm talking in 2000 through, 2005, 6, and 7.
Right.
Just like everything else, this is such a extravaganza right now. It's kind of like how the Super Bowl gets bigger and better every year. This is the time to do it now.
Yeah.
70 degrees, 72 degrees, 73
it's
degrees. Beautiful.
It's the best. And look, people, some of them want it to be warmer in May, but the way this golf course was designed, when Pete Dye put it together, when he said, hey, I'm gonna drive into a swamp and we're going to figure out a way to create a golf course here, which is what they basically did. And Dean Beeman and Pete Dye were the guys that basically came up, fostered this idea all the way, brought it to fruition. And they said, look, we want a golf course where people can stand above the play, creating a, quote, stadium course.
Right.
And we're going to take advantage of this property that nobody else wants because it's swampland. And they basically did it, and they created something it's just so dang special.
Yeah.
It really is. And I feel like you said, Coach, year by year, every single year, it's just ramped up a little bit more.
And I really think the golfers, Matt, you've been coming here for a number of years. I think the golfers love to play here because of that. You know, they say it's not a major, but in reality, it is a major. And let me tell you something, they got the best golfers in the world here. Yeah. If you get a chance to come out here, you need to come out here because I saw a guy today, and I didn't even know who he was. Okay, and I don't have my glasses with me, so I couldn't, and I don't remember what hole it was, but the guy holed one out from 180 yards. I forget who did it, but...
Were you at 18 when that happened?
Yeah.
Was it 18?
I was in the club.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know who it was. I have no idea, but I'm sure they've talked about it because that's a pretty good... chip shot from 180.
That's some of the best golf analysis I've ever heard. I don't know what hole I was on. I don't know what golfer it was. I don't know where I was. But it went in and it was awesome.
Shot.
That was close to what Mike Zimmer said the other day when we asked him about an offensive lineman. He goes, never heard of it. Never heard of it. All right, so you guys let us know if you're out and about, if you're coming this way, if you're in traffic, just how beastly is it? You can definitely hit the text line to sign by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. Round of applause, if you don't mind, JJ, to all the of our updates, because you got 3 times an hour. And Jacko just signed off, and so you've had so many, that on 1010 that kind of give you the latest. And so that way, if you're driving, you're heading in, and I even text Matt earlier, Akshay Bhatia made a birdie, and that was one of his picks. That made me feel better. Yeah, it made you feel a little bit better as you were sitting in traffic. But there's just a lot of potential on this leaderboard. And I'm just going to tell you all straight up, I don't necessarily love the idea of a first-time winner at such a big place. Prestigious event. Yeah, you follow me?
Yeah. Really?
I'm not crazy about that.
Yeah.
We have had them.
Yeah.
Craig Perks being one of them. Tim Clark being one of them.
Siwoo Kim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Siwoo was the youngest player ever to win the Players.
Well, we've had the youngest and the oldest because of Freddie Funk here.
And originally Adam Scott was the youngest, and he hit it in the water at 18 and was able to get up and down for bogey and won. And then Siwoo comes along. It's one of the many Kims that JJ will pick when it
every
comes.
time.
He says he loves South Korea. Why not? And so Siwoo won here unbelievably, but it wasn't. Hang on now. Had he won the Wyndham before he won here?
I'll
He might
check.
have. Yeah, I think he won the Wyndham, was Rookie of the Year, and then came back later and won here. But anyway, we're talking about a talented cat.
Yeah.
But the one point that Craig Perks made earlier in the week, and Coach, you were here, Matt, you were doing USA Today Sports, but he said that he believes the last handful of champions that have come through here, that this course is now identified championship level golfers that are ready to step up and win this tournament. Scotty, of course, Rory, Jason Day, Ricky Fowler, all of them. That's for sure. Jacko's giving me a back massage just like I gave him earlier doing his report. High flying, Jack O'Brien. But honestly, that's what we're looking at. We're talking about the top golfers in the world on the grandest of stages.
Dave, were you told about the picks and how we picked when you weren't here, and that every pick I made you had already picked? All 3 of your picks.
Really?
I had to change all of my picks.
Well, you didn't have to change them, right?
I
we
did.
could have tied.
No, we wanted to change them. So, and fortunately, I'm glad I changed them because I still believe, JJ, I'm in the lead, right?
Yeah, he went in the right direction. He said, you know what? I'm just going to be selfless here. I'm going to take Scotty Scheffler.
I'm going to take Scotty Scheffler myself.
Yeah, you have like 3 guys in the top 10, Matt. And by the way, Siwoo Kim did win the Wyndham before. Joe's golf knowledge is unparalleled.
It is. It is.
Listen, just like the football picks, I told JJ when I made the picks, I have absolutely no chance of winning this thing. So I've already ordered lunch for you guys.
Well, it's funny because he pulled, Matt did, and JJ and I were stuck on the Oberg train. And I even though I wanted to go in that direction, I could have been a little smarter. I could have taken Rory if I wanted to, but I didn't. But anyway, the 2 guys that are tied for the lead, Akshay Bhatia has won twice on tour. He's a good player. Left-hander, never went to college, grew up in California, said, you know what, I'm betting on myself, and he basically turned
Skinny
pro.
Dude. Skinny dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turned pro, and then basically, and he is as skinny as a golf club, but he can drive the heck out of the golf ball, and so he's up the board. Minwoo Lee has never won on the PGA Tour. He's an Aussie, and he's right there tied first, sitting at 11 under par. J.J. Spahn has won at least once. I'm pretty sure that's it. Really good story for him, too. But a guy that you wouldn't expect to step up on this leaderboard. So we'll see where those guys end up. Rory and Colin Morikawa, that's the quality
Cream,
of the leaderboard.
the cream of the crops that are there.
Yeah, and they're T4 right now. Morikawa shot him a little 7 under round today.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
That's my number 1.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why
you got a long way to go still.
Matt had to get off of that one. Rory shoots him a 4 under day today, and it was even better than that to start. The golf and Jesus. Okay, I love Tommy Fleetwood.
First round miracle, man.
I almost took him.
Yeah, he's and if you wanted to have a first time winner Tommy Fleetwood would be perfect for that. Tommy Fleetwood has notched a ton of top tens. He's just been around the leaderboard. He's flirted with a lot of opportunities. He's lost in playoffs, but he's just not been able to get it done. He shoots him a little 6 under today after a 1 under quiet 71 on day one, and he moves it to 7 unders in the top 10. And so there's a lot of good players. Harris English, Georgia Bulldog. I believe he lives up in Sea Island, so he understands the weather, the golf course, the greens, all that type of stuff. And then you got Billy Horschel, former Gator, lives right here, does a ton of good things charity-wise.
We love Billy.
Yeah, he's T8
good dude, man.
right now. And then Leon's pick, Lucas Glover, is T8. He is only through his first hole, JJ.
He literally pulled him out of nowhere. I have no idea where he got him from.
Yeah, he did. Scheffler is T14 right now. I love seeing Ricky playing well. He's T14, but just a 1 under day today after a nice start. So we got plenty of them to talk about. I feel like if we can pull up a couple of clips from James Gladstone in his presser yesterday, we will do it as we go along today. But he said one thing, and I'm telling you guys, it is the most obvious thing to say, but it still made me feel good. And we'll tell you what it is coming up here in just a second. We hang out on a beautiful Florida home AC Friday, and it kind of feels like maybe the AC is on a little bit, okay? But you got beautiful temps, and you can come on out and enjoy it. Now, if you're stuck in the office, you want to hit us with a song suggestion to fire you up on a Friday, you can hit the text line at 641-1010 and get put JJ, the DJ, to work this afternoon, put you in a good mood on a Friday. It is XL Primetime.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
As Players Championship action continues in Ponte Vedra, we are here to give you the latest on the tournament right here on 1010XL. RJ Saunders here with you. This update brought to you by Dermagnified Medical, Surgical, and Cosmetic Dermatology, as well as Renewal by Anderson. Min Woo Lee woos the crowd in Ponte Vedra and is enjoying the lead in second round action. Currently 11 under after shooting 67 in the first round. He comes and shoots a 66 in the second round and was 6 under in his second round performance. Akshay Bhatia now shares the lead with Lee at 11 under as he finished his first round also shooting a second round at 66 and going 6 under on the day while in Ponte Vedra. JJ Spahn is 10 under. That's good for third place. Not too far behind the crew is Rory McIlroy. He finished his round shooting a 68. It was a 4 under par on the day. He's 9 under for the tournament, making him good for fourth place. He's tied with Colin Morikawa for fourth. He shot a 65 in round 2 and was 7 under for the afternoon. He too is 9 under overall in Ponte Vedra. Speaking of Colin Morikawa, and his carding of 7 under 65 matches his low 18-hole score at the Players Championship. He previously did that in round 1 in 2023. Today is his 16th career round at the Players. We continue Players Championship updates in 20 minutes. I'm RJ Saunders.
It's Jacksonville's annual March meeting place.
Fascinating people.
1010XL is your radio home for the Players Championship with live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard updates.
From Heroes Lawn Care, Taco Lou, and TopDressing.com.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
ET here, and spring in Clay County means one thing: the award-winning Clay County Fair. It's more than just rides and a concert, it's an experience. Savor the flavors of classic fair treats, explore family-friendly attractions, and enjoy a perfect mix of small-town charm and big-time fun. Plan your trip with Explore Clay County Tourism and turn your visit into a getaway. Find the best places to stay, eat, and explore at exploreclay.com. And don't forget to share your fair adventures with #ExploreClay.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Summer in Jacksonville. Sun's out, flip-flops on, and whoa! Well, there goes Uncle Bob into the pool again. Protect your pool deck with Don't Slip Deck Coatings of Jacksonville. Their multi-layered slip-resistant coatings keep you on your feet, not on your backside. Durable, stylish, and way cheaper than an ER visit. Don't Slip Deck Coatings even has indoor options so your kitchen floor isn't a skating rink. Call 904-466-1839 for a free quote and follow Don't Slip Jacks on Facebook and Instagram.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Mia here. Getting more is great, and that's what makes this sale so great. It's a sale on top of a sale, and it's going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Get zero down and just $288 per month for a pre-owned 2022 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, Tacoma for zero down and $388 per month. You can even choose no payments till July 2025. Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Jags fans, here's your chance to score a trip to Green Bay for round one of draft night. Through the Everbank Draft Night Experience Sweepstakes, one lucky winner and a guest will be there live and in person to see the Jaguars make their first pick. To enter, visit everbank.com/draft by April 4th. That's everbank.com/draft. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 3/3/25 to 4/4/25. For official rules, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/draft. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A.
Dan and Jeff take you down the fairway with the PGA Tour professionals.
Keep an eye on this one.
Crunch with the Tour.
Tour news, tips, and inside info. Brought to you by
Clearwater Irrigation. 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament. You can enter the bracket challenge at 1010XL.com right now. Monday morning, you can make your picks. Then when the tourney starts Thursday, print your bracket out and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free Miller Lite, and bracket challenge winner gets 2 tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Tyson Sound and Security has a house built right inside their showroom, showcasing complete home automation and security systems. You have to see it to believe it. This setup can recognize intruders who approach your door and alerts them to leave if there's a break-in. Keep your family safe with the most state-of-the-art technology. Tyson Sound and Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
We're giving away free AC inspections to our wonderful customers who now call and schedule. But you must act today. A deal this good won't last forever. Call 904-862-6769. DuckDuckAC.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Having a good time on a beautiful Friday out here at TPC Sawgrass, the stadium course. Double digits in the first couple of rounds from a couple of guys at the top. And so we'll see if we're approaching another low number, which we definitely have seen in the last couple of years, including the 20 under that Scotty Scheffler was able to put together this past year as a defending champion. First ever to do it, that's for sure. All right, oh, yeah, okay. See, this is what 1010XL does for a lot of other people. We offer a charging opportunity right inside our station. Now that I know you've got that credit card, now we're going to buy beers. We're going to buy beers at the Palm Valley Village Bar with that bad boy. But we're here to help. Okay, we're here to help.
That's me, his dad, Silent Walt.
And so they come up here. They just want to say hey, and they're like, "Hey, man, can I charge my phone?" Absolutely. But let's play this one soundbite from James Gladstone, and Coach and Matt, you guys get into this because it's a standard thing to say, but I think all of us would agree the draft has not netted the results here the way it should. And so here's Gladstone basically with the presser yesterday talking about, hey, this is how he was successful in the Rams organization in terms of building a team.
That's my experience most recently with the Los Angeles Rams, and it's something that I feel like I have a unique capacity to take on with the current position that we hold, which is 10 picks this year, 11 picks next year. And so with pro free agency, we wanted to set ourselves up so that we feel like we had the flexibility to address any position that we wanted to at any pick point that lies on the horizon, and feel like we're currently in a position to do just that.
Yeah, look, we can argue about the picks and if they're right or not, if they're good or not, or if they'll be. That's what we do. That's our job, right?
Right.
I just think the idea of, okay, this is our philosophy, this is what we're doing, and I think we're seeing it right now. I think their idea is going to be in the draft. We're going to go skill on both sides of the ball, and I think they're still going to get big guys, but I believe that initially they're going skill. I would not be shocked at all if they took Ted McMillan at 5. I wouldn't be shocked in the least, because if you think about it, you know how Joe Burrow got so good so quick, other than the fact that he's fantastic. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
If you've got Brian Thomas Jr. on one side and Ted McMillan on the other, you got a chance to do something if you can protect your quarterback. And if they feel like those three that they added in free agency, Dave, can protect their quarterback, I think you got to put more pieces around your $275 million guy.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't be a bit surprised either. And really for the same reason you're talking about, but you can add in there the fact that there are a few more offensive and defensive linemen in this draft.
A little deeper,
A little deeper than the receivers, for sure.
Of course, yeah.
When you look at it. And so I think that that's a part of it. The thing that he said yesterday that really stuck out to me, and I mentioned this to you off the air, is he said that you bring in one of these veteran guys, and that you now have a young guy, which we're going to build through the draft. And I'm paraphrasing. We're going to build through the draft. We've got the most draft picks for any team for the next 2 years. And I think that's what they're looking at.
Yeah.
They want to win this year, but they're really looking 2 years to put the real team they want together. If you got a bunch of veterans hanging around, that may keep a young guy from getting on the field and developing.
100%.
And that's where he was very complimentary of Kirk and Ingram.
Right.
But he just felt that could be a hindrance for the philosophy that you talked about that they have in going forward.
To me, that was the problem last year with Darby.
Yeah.
Jarian Jones had to play. Get him on the field. He's got to learn. And the only way you're going to learn is being on the field.
And you guys know this. After every game, Ronald Darby led the league in the best passer rating the quarterback had against him.
Yeah.
And he kept throwing him out there.
The worst. Right. Okay? All right, so here's one. Just based on what Coach just said, why did you cut Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk? That question was asked to Gladstone yesterday.
Really have so much respect for the people and the players that both Christian and Evan are. Right, and they meant a lot to the locker room. And, we'll continue to bring those types of people and players into our ecosystem, but we needed a little bit more flexibility to address the larger scale roster after, some departures across the OL as well. So that was a big part in that, but we do feel like we're in a better position today than we were a couple of weeks ago to make it so that when we enter, each decision at each pick point in April, that we can continue to level up, where we are from a personnel perspective.
I think that cutting cash, looking at aging players or maybe injured players, those are all, like, you do feasibility studies, Coach, do you not? You take a look, you constantly take a look at, okay, who's on their way out, who's on their way up, who do we need to pay attention to, who do we need to say goodbye to?
Right. And I think part of the problem is I don't think this past group that was here, and I'm really a coach's guy.
Yeah.
Right?
You protect them.
But I don't think that they really ever grasped the fact that this was not a complete roster. That's why they brought in guys that they thought all we have to do is bring in a couple of guys, whether it's Armstead or Darby or whatever, that have done it before. That doesn't mean that they're going to do it again, and it doesn't mean that this roster is close to where they need it to be.
Mm-hmm. But we were told it was the greatest roster ever in the history of the franchise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I think
it's
that
the best
these
team
people
we've ever put together here.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, that's what they've done now. They've looked at it and they've said, "Look, we got holes in this roster. Of
course,
we need to make moves, and we need the flexibility, like he said, to be able to do whatever's available in the draft, because they're good players."
Yeah, I'm not arguing with any of that, and it's like I said earlier, that's their philosophy, that's their stigma. That's fine. I'm not arguing with it. All I'm saying is I don't think they should have cut Ingram. I think you keep a guy that when he's healthy is mega production, a volume catcher, a 3rd and 5 catcher. The league is 3rd and 5. He's a guy that catches that ball on 3rd and 5.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing for me. That was really the only question is, look, when that guy's healthy, and he's really only been not healthy, the end of last year.
Yeah, right.
You got to put Trevor in a position where he knows if it's 3rd and 3 to 5. What do you call that? 3rd and middle? Is that what you guys call that? Yeah.
No, 3 to 5 is 3rd and short.
3rd and short. Okay.
Yeah,
so you got to have a guy that, okay, I know I can go to him. I know he's going to get open and separate. And Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the most important thing in all football if you're a receiver, separating.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And I think that's what and I don't know that Brenton Strange is that type of tight end.
Yeah, I don't think he's Evan Ingram. He's not a flex.
He's more of a lumbering.
Right. He's not quick.
But he is an athlete.
Yeah.
He's a good athlete.
He is, but he's not Evan Ingram athlete. Yeah. Evan Ingram's like Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, it would have been hard for me if I'm looking at that team to cut him. I'll be honest with you. But at the same time, they felt they needed the flexibility, not only from a what we talk about with the draft, but money to fill more situations on the team. So for me, and you know what he said though was kind of telling. You know what Ingram said? He said, "Well, you cut one of the only dogs on the team."
It's true.
Well, he's right. And that's what they're trying to get. They're trying to get
true.
Some dogs in here like Jordan Lewis. Those are the kind of guys, Macari or whatever his name is. Those are the kind of guys they're looking for.
You guys have heard me say this over and over. If they had 22 Evan Ingrams on that team, they'd be good shape.
Absolutely.
That dude is a player. He's a ball player.
And that's kind of like getting rid of one to get two. So, kind of like they did with the tight end position. They brought in two that are different tight ends, but they got two for the price of.
You're going to use the old addition by subtraction on me?
Absolutely. I love it. I love it.
All
Get
right.
as many guys in here as you can and throw them up against the wall, and you got a chance.
Well, I don't mind at all. Basically, what they're saying is that whatever you had here, whoever was in charge, their draft board, their free agent class, it's not going to look as good as what we are prepared to do here.
Right. Exactly.
And so that, honestly, it's the challenge. There's no getting away from it. Getting away from it. And if you have the right people, then you can come in and basically say, I've quickly identified the problem areas, and now here are my solutions. Now, we still don't know whether those are good solutions or not.
No.
But he feels like he's identified a few guys that can come in that can immediately provide a little more protection for Trevor, Makari being the biggest of those.
Right.
And then kind of build from there. They're not done, right, Coach?
No.
The draft is going to be a big deal.
The draft is the most important thing to these guys, and that's the philosophy that they're working on. And listen, I heard something on the Jaguar Today show today that I thought was really pretty good. Mike Dempsey said, "You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited that people in the building have smiles on their face instead of being miserable, you know." And to me, I think they have a plan. I think they're excited. The young guys, there's energy in the coaching staff, and they want energy from the players on the team as well, and that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, I actually think there's energy in the fan base too.
Yep.
And I think that energy could be tempered a little bit if pick 5 goes where they don't want it to go. There's no doubt about that.
Of course, yeah.
But I think it's anytime you start new, anytime you pull up that Etch-a-Sketch and start everything brand new, there's a feeling of, all right, now we have a chance. Whether you do or you don't, there's always that feeling, right? And you know as a coach, it's like that. It's all right, we got a chance now. And I think that's what they're looking at, Joe. They're looking at, okay, now we have a chance. Now let's see how we can do it. Completely different from what was here prior.
Yeah. It's funny when you take Evan Ingram and just use him as an example, because we have here, he goes to the Broncos. He signs him a nice deal.
Right.
And what is that, Coach? That is the instant security blanket for a young Bo Nix.
Yeah.
And so Trevor, okay, this is year 5, pal.
Yeah.
And you're saying, you know what? You need to make everybody better around you. That is your job. We're going to make sure that we block and protect up front for you, but now you've got to make BTJ the superstar that he appears to be. Bring De'Ami Brown in here, do some things. And if it is to be Brenton Strange, let him, or Tyler Warren. Can we?
You're going to take Tyler Warren at 5? Is that what you're going to do?
No, I was going to say trade back.
Yeah,
I mean, you can.
He's pretty good. I know that.
He's good. I would trade back to do that. But as we started this conversation, and I'm looking at Coach when I asked this question, did Matt Hayes not go straight to Ted McMillan?
Yeah,
he
I
got
did.
off of his guard.
I did.
Guard.
No. I'm still guard. I'm just saying I think that's what they're doing.
Okay.
I think they're going to do that. I think they think the 3 guys they got in free agency is a very good start. On a scale of 1 to 10 is like a 7 out of 10 start.
Right.
And then they're going to try and get a guard, second round or third round, to supplement that. I truly believe that with the 5, they're either going to go, and I don't think obviously you go Travis Hunter if he's there at 5, because you stick him at corner, and there's your other corner, and you're good there.
Yeah.
But if Ted McMillan is there, and I think he will be there, obviously, and I could easily see them doing that. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it is intriguing. No question about that. We kind of had this conversation with Burrow, and it's Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and both of those guys you could picture Brian Thomas Jr. and Ted.
Yeah,
McMillan.
and Ted obviously is probably overpicked at 5.
Yeah,
you can easily say that, but it's at that point it's like, all right, what does this quarterback need? We're not even talking about the franchise anymore. Right. You now have zeroed down into what does 16 need.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've started out with the 3 offensive linemen.
Right.
And now here you are. You have a glaring hole at wide receiver right now.
And you brought in the tight ends that can block for the running game.
Right.
I mean, they've done what they set out to do. That's the key. And to me, we talk about Ingram with the dog mentality and all of that. It's in the eye of the beholder. In other words, I'm talking to a guy the other day that says that Long, the tight end from Miami, is a heck of a football player.
Yeah.
Tough, competitive. So we took Russell Maryland with the number 1 pick in the draft back in the day with the Cowboys, and no one else would have taken him in the top 10.
Right.
So when you talk about, you could say, well, we're going to take the best available player.
Right.
But that means the best available player with a little bit of need thrown in there. So, thanks.
Look at Crondo. Look how much weight have you lost, man?
Yeah.
48 pounds.
He looks like – so C-Daddy says, you know what?
And waking 180, huh?
Yeah. He says it's a little hot out here. Let me cool you off, okay?
Yeah,
a little Florida home AC action right there.
Wow.
Thank you, C-Dad.
Wow.
All right, you're the man. He brings us some cold waters on this. It's probably touching 80 right now.
Yeah, it's
probably
getting hot.
Close to
It's
it.
getting hot out there, man.
And I kept wearing the outerwear every day, and I'm thinking it cools off once you get close to 5, 6 o'clock, something like that. And so I come out of PGA Tour Studios, and it's colder. It's definitely colder. And so you get in that building, and it's cold. So you definitely have to be aware of that. But out here, you can enjoy all of this beautiful sunshine, that's for sure. All right, so let's keep it going on this subject, and then we will get back into some of the thoughts as far as this leaderboard is concerned. But you guys are probably more drilled down on what happened in free agency, what's going to happen next. So we're having fun. You guys hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. Jump in on the conversation. Did they get it right? Did they do enough? What's next? All that type of stuff on XL Primetime.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Second round action continues in Ponte Vedra at the Players Championship. We're here to give you the latest that is going on in the tournament. RJ Saunders here with you. This Players Update is brought to you by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling and TopDressing.com. Currently, Minwoo Lee sharing the lead in the second round, currently at 11 under. He shot 67 in the first round. He comes in today and shoots a 66 in the second round. He was 6 under in his second round performance. Ash K. Batia now shares the lead with Lee at 11 under. He finished his round also shooting a second round 66, going 6 under on the day in Ponte Vedra. JJ Spawn is good for third place. He is 10 under. Tommy Fleetwood currently 7 under par. He's tied for 6th with Jake Knapp. Lucas Glover, who enjoyed the top spot for a moment yesterday, has now fallen tied for 6th as well. Scotty Scheffler, last year's winner, finishes his round and is 14th, along with Ricky Fowler at 5 under. Notable names that are still trying to figure it out in Ponte Vedra: Tony Finau at 3 over. Sung J M is 4 over, along with Justin Thomas. Matt Fitzpatrick is 5 over. Max Homa 7 over, and Victor Hovland is at 8 over, hoping to turn it around. Your next Players Update will be in 20 minutes. I'm RJ Saunders.
Struggling with ED? Now Riddle Wellness has a solution that works. You've heard of PRP treatments for joint pain relief. That same technology is now available with the P-Shot, a non-surgical treatment for ED. Using your body's natural power, the P-Shot helps restore function naturally. No pills, no downtime, just results. Schedule a free consultation at elevatejacksonville.com and learn what the P-Shot can do for you. Riddle Wellness, your health, your confidence totally restored. Visit elevatejacksonville.com.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, maybe even your kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Don't let divorce take more than it has to.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at CordellCordell.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, maybe even your kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Don't let divorce take more than it has to.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at CordellCordell.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 14, 1954, Milwaukee Braves future home run king Hank Aaron homers in his debut exhibition game against the Boston Red Sox.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy. From delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash, there are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beard's has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses in fine print. Beard's has all the top designers, including Tacori and Veragio. Beard's doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beard's Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beard's in the St. John's Town Center.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament. You can enter the bracket challenge at 1010xl.com right now. Monday morning, you can make your picks. Then when the tourney starts Thursday, print your bracket out and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free Miller Lite, and bracket challenge winner gets 2 tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Gorgeous day, a little bit of breeze out there. Traffic, yeah, it can be kind of tough. That's for sure, especially if you're trying to see these guys finish up late in the afternoon. But if you are coming out, we always like to preach patience when you're behind the wheel. And it ain't easy sometimes. But hopefully you can get out here, get parked, get on the grounds. They're busting their humps to make sure that you can get in quickly once you do get parked. That's for sure. All right, so we'll be looking at the leaderboard coming up. We've been talking really about free agency and what's gone on so far and what can go on from here. And I think I want to get to a couple of texts, but I think, it's kind of like I'm playing off of Matt's conversation a little bit, that once you do something in free agency, you now kind of set your map for what you're doing
set
in the
in
draft.
stone
You
at that
have
point.
to
Yes,
look at it that way.
yes. You literally have poured the concrete at that point once you do your free agency work.
And it doesn't mean you're married to any one guy, because these guys are being asked to come in
but
and
you're
compete.
married to your philosophy at that point.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
And most of these deals that they did with these guys are a 2-year shot. And see, that's to me what we've been talking about. You got 2 drafts where they got to hit it.
Right.
And these guys will maybe only be here for 2 years, some of the free agents that they brought in. Because they're going to bring somebody in that is on the come and ready to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you basically hope that the way it falls.
They're mercenaries, basically, is what they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that honestly is how it goes.
That's what free agency is.
Yeah, it's really whoever is willing to pay you the most. You're very likely going to go there. Not necessarily always the end, kind of number, but you have to consider it. Who's going to pay me the most? Who presents the best situation for me, and that's where I'm going to go.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, and so I see it. The thing I like the best about this whole thing is I think they have a plan. Now, whether the plan will work or not, time will tell. But I like the direction that they're headed.
Yeah. All right, 641-1010. You guys hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, if you do want to jump in on that, because you're basically looking at right now kind of a map, and now you start to point yourself to the draft. And we kind of laid off the combine a little bit, especially when Coach and I were doing our Campo and Joe podcast, that you can't really focus in on any one thing positionally until you know exactly what they've done. Now, I asked Matt yesterday when Gladstone put the comment out that we identified 9 guys and we signed 9 guys, and I immediately laughed. I'm like, he never said it was the
those 5 guys. 9
it was
guys.
these
right.
9 guys.
I said the same thing to myself.
Yeah. And so what were you thinking? Like, it's played perfectly.
Thing. Yeah. They moved so quickly, though. I kind of think that they had kind of identified the guys that they felt they could get and still have some money left over to wheel and deal if they had to.
Right.
And hopefully it's that 9 guys.
It just brought back a little bad juju from Dave Caldwell saying they identified K'Lavon Chaisson. And
it was unbelievable. I immediately thought of that. I'm like, man.
Right.
I've been down this road before. I've been tortured by hope. Okay.
Listen, I've had 2 of those situations. When I was here, my son Tommy was at the University of Arkansas, and when we took Matt Jones from the quarterback position for a receiver, he called me up immediately and said, "Are you people smoking hubbly bubbly, or what are you doing?" Okay. Well, then the DB, Henry, what's the DB from Florida?
Chris Henderson. CJ Henderson.
CJ, yeah. I'm all excited because I watched him a little bit. He's a pretty good man.
You were fired up about him.
I was, and
you got sucked in by the speed. That's what happened.
Listen. I go to my neighbor. Well, he wasn't. What is it? What's Gladstone's number one thing? Rich. Intangibly rich. That was the problem. That was the problem.
Right,
but
he was intangibly vacant.
I go to my next door neighbor who's a Florida grad, and he says, "I don't know about that pick. I've watched this guy for 3 years."
And the very simple, how much does he love football question.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay? And so those intangibles you would like to quickly identify as, this guy loves, he may be long for something else as opposed to that. Right. And so the intangibles, I do like the way Gladstone lays it out because he wants to find out DNA. And you could tell the quick story, Coach, but you wanted guys that had the aptitude first, then the heart behind it, as far as when you guys...
Absolutely. You look at the athletic ability, but in reality, there's a bunch of athletes that don't ever make it. It's kind of like, you watch all the college games that are out there, right? That's only, small percentage of the guys that... Only 1% of those guys play professional football.
1.6%, actually.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There you go. And when you watch these guys, you see a bunch of guys out there that are better than 1%. But it's like Nick Saban said in an interview I watched, athletic ability can be your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you've been leaning on that and not doing the other things, the intangible things. Yep. And all of a sudden everybody you go against is the same as you are, except the guy that's got the intangibles makes it and you don't.
I mean, Herm Edwards told me this one time in his office. I'll never forget it. He said, "Do you know why 95% of the guys in the NFL don't make it past the first contract? Because they don't have it between the years. That's why.
Right.
They don't get it."
Yep.
Yeah, the willingness to put in the hard work, and
it's not only the knowledge of the game; it's also the want. Like you've got to want it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'm trying to think of who it was that was telling the story, but they talked about Leon, and they would kind of work the sidelines, and they would see Leon Searcy back in the day. We missed today; he's got a couple days off, but he said that he would go back to the offensive line bench, and he would sit there, and he wouldn't look at anybody. He would just stare straight ahead. And all he was doing was just thinking about basically his next mission.
Right.
I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to talk to you. I'm thinking about that
Leon's
guy.
the definition of one as a football
absolutely.
player. As a football
Yeah,
player. No doubt about it.
and I'm going to go out and I'm going to whoop him again. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to refocus because he would always joke, I need to tell myself I'm the baddest mofo on
the planet. Right, exactly. No doubt.
Yeah, and go out and compete every single time, which is
right. And but for when Reggie White was out there across him, he was the baddest.
Yeah, what did Zimmer say about Lewis? He thinks he's bigger and badder than anybody. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he thinks he is.
Right.
And he thinks he can go outside and play outside. Whether or not he can or not, if that's what they have in mind, we'll see. But I think he's a nickel, and he's going to be great. But that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
right
heck
there.
yeah. And you obviously you have to convince yourself through your belief, and then you got to convince others through your play. And let's just get one more in here real quick from James Gladstone because I want to play before we hit the top of the hour. But the fact that they need to identify guys that can play to the finish. And one of the questions was asked, how does he feel about the protection that he got for Trevor? Does he feel like this is a good enough group that can come in and play that style of football and make sure that 16 has more time to make plays? So let's roll that one.
I do think that we answered some questions there with our decisions here in pro free agency, addressing both center and guard, as well as the tackle position. And clearly by signing 3 of those players, and that being the most at any one position over the course of the free agent window, we're setting the standard for what we're actually looking to do, and that doesn't count offensive line out of the equation in the draft either. But at the same time, that's another position that does have attrition and throughout the course of a season, so we'll never feel like we've got enough.
Yeah, I think it's very clear that 3 guys is not going to be enough. And I've been saying this all along, too. I want guys that will grow with Trevor.
Yeah.
So I want them to sign guys that will be guys that will be here for not just a 1 or 2 year deal, like a guy that's going to get to a second contract. In a perfect world, they sign a couple guards that will grow with him, maybe even a center, and become like this foundation of who and what he is as he's hitting that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 year stretch where all the quarterbacks become what they're going to be, the elite level of their game. That's the perfect world. Then you've got Brian Thomas in there with him as well. You may have Ted McMillan in there as well. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of the idea of what they're looking for. If you get a key nucleus of players around Trevor that can grow with him, you got a chance to be successful.
Yeah. And the only thing I immediately think of is that Trevor's already 5 years into this bad boy.
Yeah.
So, they need to grow with him. Yeah, he needs to be their leader. He needs to be that guy that can get the job done.
There's no more maybe we can do this or maybe we can do that. It's got to be this is the plan, period.
Right.
He's year 5 right now, man.
Right,
5.
exactly.
Right.
And finally, if there is a life preserver that was tossed out by this new regime, and Gladstone's in charge of making sure that they do enough to make everything around him better, and then he's got to be better. And then that's where Liam comes in. Liam's like, you know what? I got to design a run game that's going to make sure that this guy has something he can count on that defenses have to prepare for, instead of constantly saying, you know what? They ain't got nothing at 16, and we're going to come kick his butt. That type of deal. So, all right, let's get into the 3 o'clock hour. Keep it going. Dave Campo hanging out. You're going to hang out,
yes.
right? Okay, You're enjoying this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's beautiful out here.
We're going to hang out in the 3 o'clock hour, kind of stay on the Jags a little bit, take a look at a few other teams, and then get back to the leaderboard. We've got leaderboard updates coming your way, and we'll start to zero in on who we think can make a move from the second round and take it all the way to the finish line. It is XL Primetime, a Florida Home AC Friday. Don't forget FloridaHomeAC.com. You want to get a tune-up right now before it really gets hot. You can check them out, the official AC partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Second round action rolls on in Ponte Vedra at the Players Championship. RJ Saunders here with you. This Players Update brought to you by Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and AC, as well as the Deck Guys. Minwoo Lee enjoying the lead in second round action, 11 under par. He shot a 67 in the first round, comes in today and shoots a 66 in the second round. He was 6 under for the day in his second round appearance. He shares the lead with Akshay Bhatia, who is also 11 under. JJ Spawn at 10 under. That's good for third place right now in Ponte Vedra. Not too far behind them, Roy McIlroy. He finished his round shooting a 68. He was 4 under par on the day. He's 9 under for the tournament. That's good for fourth place. He's making his 15th appearance at the Players Championship. His 9 under 135 total is his second lowest 36-hole score at this event. McIlroy's low 36-hole score at the Players is 12 under 132. He did that in 2019 when he won the Players Championship. He's tied with Colin Morikawa for fourth. Colin shot a 65 in round 2 and was 7 under for the afternoon. He is now 9 under overall in Ponte Vedra. Speaking of Colin Morikawa and his carding of his 7 under 65, that matches his low 18-hole score at the Players Championship. He previously did that in 2023 in his round 1 appearance. We'll have more updates for you in 20 minutes. I'm RJ Saunders.
Spring is in the air. Time to wake up your lawn with Heroes Lawn Care. Say goodbye to pesky mosquitoes with their organic and spray treatments. Perfect for outdoor fun. Keep your lawn clean and fresh with their pet waste removal for homes and businesses. Heroes Lawn Care takes care of it all, from mowing, edging, fertilizer to irrigation and much more. Visit heroeslawncare.com.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law. Ahead, we build platforms for digital business. We help create your platform for digital business by weaving together advances in cloud infrastructure, intelligent operations, and modern applications. Digital business is comprised of 5 pillars. We call them imperatives because they're a must-have, not a nice-to-have. We enterprise cloud, integrated security, scaled DevOps, intelligent operations, and relentless automation. Need help with digital transformation? Ahead. Learn, grow, achieve.
The Jacksonville Icemen are back at home this Friday and Saturday evening at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Join us Friday as the Icemen take on the Orlando Solar Bears for Wizards Night, presented by Florida Department of Health. Come out and wear your house colors. Then on Saturday, the Icemen close out their home set against the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Game time at 7. Tickets available on Ticketmaster or by calling 904-602-PUCK. Iceman hockey is #Frozen Frenzy.
Hunters Know Patience is part of the game.
Just got to keep hunting.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Looking for comfort with who you work with? Remember, Florida Home AC only hires the best. Background checks and drug screenings for all their technicians, so you can be confident when you choose Florida Home AC. Exceptional service is their guarantee at Florida Home AC.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards. And it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Need or want cash? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
The hoops action continues on the first Friday of the tourney. Watch the madness with 1010XL and enjoy madness specials all day long, starting with helmets and heels, live from Big Dog Sports Restaurant on Blanding. Then join XL Primetime at Barley and Pie in Fleming Island. The Frangie Show will be at String Sports Brewery in Jacks Beach, and finish the day with Into the Night with Rick Ballou and Hacker After Dark at Top Dog Tavern on Old St. Augustine Road. Now that's the way to celebrate hoops.
I can't believe it!
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Jacksonville's summer heat is coming in fast. Is your AC ready to handle it? Or will it quit on you on the hottest day of the year, leaving you sweating and stuck with a huge repair bill? Duck Air Conditioning is here to save the day with a free AC system inspection. Our expert techs will make recommendations to ensure your AC system is running in tip-top shape before the heat arrives. Call now, 904-862-6769. Duck Air Conditioning, duckac.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
A Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Oh, we're having a big time, that's for sure. Everybody out here looks like they are having the exact same good time as well. The leaderboard looks, it really does. It looks promising. You're talking about carrying a championship into the weekend with a lot of possibilities. Of course, you could have a good story with a first-time winner, but you also could have a lot of other guys that will stack up well on the leaderboard. And if you go back and think of the past champions here, they're golf royalty. They really are. Starting with Scheffler with his back-to-back wins. But you got a bunch of others that have put themselves in position, and Saturday is always referred to as moving day. And if you're going to have a guy that's going to move up the leaderboard, it's usually going to come in the third round, and we'll see what they can do. Through 4 holes today, Lucas Glover's level, okay? Right. He's flattened out just a bit. And JJ and I always kind of get a kick out of the story, and I say this affectionately, okay? My buddy Elijah is a diehard Clemson fan. And so he immediately saw Lucas shoot up the leaderboard, and he's sending me tiger emojis and, LFGs and all this kind of stuff. And I said, I told him the story that Leon picked him. He's like, that is classic. I said, but one of the last times Lucas Glover was in the news here, like he's in the news here because he's contending. The last time he was in the news, his wife was assaulting him for not making any putts. Okay, JJ, you remember this?
She got into it with his mother, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Somehow his mom was also involved.
Yeah.
It was like a double domestic.
Yeah, and they're all happy now.
That's double domestic.
But at the same time, she was sick of seeing him miss putts. and so this happened, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Maybe SJSO might remember some of it.
Because the money goes away when you miss putts.
Yeah.
You better believe it.
You drive for show and putt for dough.
Yeah.
Imagine that getting yelled at by your wife because you're missing putts.
Like they had to call the cops.
At the course.
Oh my
Not
God.
at home.
Yeah.
Right, at the course.
And so I guess the good story, the ending to it is that Lucas said, "Okay, I gotta make my wife happy. I gotta start holding some of these bad boys." He went to a long shafted putter, and this happened 2 years ago, because we're in 23, I believe, at the time. At the end of the year, he's not eligible for the playoffs.
Right.
All of a sudden, he puts it together. Putts are dropping. he wins the Wyndham Championship, which was the last regular season event of 23. He vaults into the playoffs, goes right into the postseason, and wins the FedEx St. Jude Championship.
Wow.
So he won back-to-back starts, and ultimately, shot up the leaderboard. And I think, I'm trying to think if he actually made it on the Ryder Cup team. He might have made it.
He had
on.
to if he won the FedEx, right?
Yeah. Well, he didn't win the FedEx, but he won that actual tournament, the FedEx St. Jude Championship.
Okay.
But he didn't win the FedEx Cup. But anyway, he won back-to-back weeks on the PGA Tour by making that putter change.
That's a great happy wife, happy life.
Oh my gosh! And I could.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Now.
And you couldn't wait to see her on the 18th green, just waiting to embrace them. Like, oh, they're all good now.
The problem with that now is that we learn by doing.
Yeah.
So now she's learned that behavior turns into him making cuts.
Yeah.
So now that
works
behavior,
him over.
that
reacts
behavior
to
will
it.
move to something else. Like, why don't you clean the garage?
Yeah. I was just trying to think of other athletes that have come home and had to hear it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, can you think of
I think more than you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably. I think you're right. I'm not going to look at Coach and ask him if Kay ever gave him grief for a loss. I'm not going to do that. But I can picture players coming back.
The look on his face, she did.
I'm not going to ask him if he volunteers, and I'll let him.
Listen, she never did that. But when I took one of the losses when Leon slid into the field goal miss and they beat us in Miami
in the snow.
In the snow. I almost got divorced because when I got home, I took the game from the game to the house, and all her family was there. And then she basically said to me, "You come home like that again, I'm not going to be here."
Was that like a Thanksgiving game too?
It was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably wasn't a good idea.
And you know what we did? We just ran the table after that and won the Super Bowl.
Oh,
had to make my wife. I went right to the DBs. I said, "Hey, don't slide into anything from here on out. We need to win the rest of these games."
I got some heat at home, okay? We need to clean this up a little bit.
Can I please read you the quote from Lucas?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
So he says, the husband told deputies that every time he plays poorly in a tournament, his wife yells and calls him a, quote, loser and worse things in front of their kids.
Oh, it's just awful.
In front of their kids?
Yes.
That's awful.
That's great.
But apparently it's worked, so it's fine. Yeah. But didn't he win like a U.S. Open?
Oh, yeah. He won going way back, and I want to say that might have been Bethpage Black, which is where the Ryder Cup is this year. I'm pretty sure
so relax, Krista. Okay, he's a major champion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was all the way back in like 2007. So she thought she had something at that point. And then
he went on a slump.
Yeah, he just started to fade. And he was evaporating off of leaderboards left and right. And so it might have gotten her a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding.
But honestly, the pressure is great for these guys that year to year, week to week, making cuts. It's one of the toughest sports, and we always
It is.
I'm a golfer, and I know that people are listening go, golf ain't tough, and they can easily make fun of it.
Any competitive sport is tough.
The pressure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this is what I've always talked about with Liv, and the one thing that I love about the tour, and they're even kind of going away from it a little bit more than they probably should. But when you drive into a parking lot and you put it in park on a Tuesday, you have until Friday to make the cut. And if you don't make the cut, you don't get a check.
Right.
And now
it's costing you to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're paying your own freight, and there's nobody else but you.
Right.
You can occasionally blame the caddy if you want, but there's nobody else but you.
Yeah.
And it is a ton of pressure. And so I love the guys that can figure it out, but it ain't easy.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta route your
my son-in-law, one of my boys went to the PGA school.
Mm-hmm.
And he could have been, he could walk out today, having not played for 5 years, and shoot a round of golf for 70, 71, whatever.
I hate guys
But
like
as soon as he went to the PGA school, he couldn't do it under pressure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Could not do it.
And I'll love on Derek DiStefano right now, all the vows except you. He is a PGA of America pro. He runs the golf club of Southampton.
Right.
He was an outstanding player in college. Went to medalist. He was a really good player. But he'll tell you right now, I'm standing over a putt. The hole shrinks.
Yeah.
I can't I can't deliver the results that I want to deliver on the greens, and that's goes back to the old
Fred
putts for dough.
Licklider, who lived here next to me. Frank won. He was what, third here at the Players one year.
Yeah, and he won a couple of tournaments.
Right, but he couldn't consistently do it. He just couldn't consistently do it.
Yeah, and it's just such a tough thing, and if you figure it out, you get to make your share of cuts, you're going to make a lot of money for a long time.
Right.
You can have a long-lasting career, but the other ones, they get bounced in and out.
Right.
And Matt Every, one of our dudes on 1010XL, he's on the drill. Great guy. He won back-to-back Arnold Palmer Invitational tournaments. Just imagine that.
Yeah.
And then after that, injuries and whatnot kind of got to him. And
Yep.
I saw him, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. He pops on with Dan and Jeff all the time, but I saw him over at the PGA Tour Studios, and he had to basically resign his card because he's no longer playing competitively.
Right.
But he went through really some tough stuff to try and get to where he could duplicate that success.
Yeah.
Now the cool thing is he's doing a gambling show with the PGA Tour. Him and Michael Collins and a couple of other guys where they're going to have a handful of tournaments where they'll basically set it up. Next ball in, here are the odds. Isn't that cool?
Like the Elkington thing.
Yeah, exactly. Where you just get to basically wager on it's shot to shot or something close to that.
I love that. Oh my God.
So does Joe, believe me.
Yeah.
Because golf is the hardest sport to bet on, and really there's only a few things. You can do it like winner or make the top 10 or like maybe a pair and bet one against the other, but really that's all you got.
Yeah, the live betting, and I always go back to the essence of the live betting is you sit on 17 and you have a bunch of ones or a bunch of fives, whatever you want to bet, and you pick red, blue, or green caddy bib. And then it's closest to the pin. It's who's down first, and you just keep exchanging money, and it's the best. And it's mindless.
In the words of Frank Costanza, that's perverse.
It's mindless, and then you can do it wherever you want. But second shots in on 18, whatever it might be, which is definitely a bunch of fun. And so we'll see which of these guys can do it, and they will cash the largest check on the PGA Tour at this tournament, which is something else.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to Jaguar free agent talk. Back to the draft talk after hearing from James Gladstone, a handful of the other free agents yesterday. So we will do that coming up. It's XL Primetime, a Florida Home AC Friday. You want to hit the text line, 641-1010. You can dial up some good rock and roll. Send a suggestion. JJ, the DJ's way, puts you in a good mood on a Florida Home AC Friday.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Many have finished their second round in Ponte Vedra. However, there still are those that are in the middle of their second round at the Players Championship, and we're here to give you the updates. I'm RJ Saunders. This Players Championship update brought to you by Renewal by Anderson and Corona Premier. Currently in the lead, Minwoo Lee. He's currently at 11 under. He shot a 67 in the first round. Comes in today shooting a 66 in the second round. That was good for 6 under in his second round performance. Akshay Bhatia now also sharing the lead with Lee at 11 under. He finished his second round shooting a 66, going 6 under on the day in Ponte Vedra. JJ Spawn, third place, 10 under par. Tommy Fleetwood currently 7 under par. He's tied for 6 with Jake Knapp. Lucas Glover, who enjoyed the top spot for a moment yesterday, has now fallen in the 8th. He's currently 6 under par. He joins Alex Smalley and Steven Yeager for that spot. Scotty Scheffler, last year's winner, finishes the round and is 16th, along with names such as Ricky Fowler and Patrick Cantlay at 5 under. Xander Schauffele currently 1 under par for the tournament. Notable names still trying to figure it out in Ponte Vedra. Hideki Matsuyama 2 over, Justin Thomas 3 over, Sungjae M 4 over, along with Tony Finau. Matt Fitzpatrick A +6, Max Homa 7 over, hoping to turn it around. We'll have your next update in 20 minutes. I'm RJ Saunders.
Lauren Brooks here. At Hodges Mazda, they are proud of their solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. As your hometown Mazda dealer, their high customer service standards and their huge inventory of new and used cars provide their customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Their professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interest first without exception. And all new vehicle purchases include the Hodges Mazda Protection Package. Visit them online at HodgesMazda.com or stop in today to learn more and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
Earlier this week, 2 Gators were added to the men's basketball All-SEC team list. Senior guard Walter Clayton Jr. was selected to the first-team All-SEC list, while sophomore forward Alex Condon was selected to the third-team All-SEC list. On Tuesday night, the Gators baseball team handed number 5 Florida State their first loss, beating them 7-2 on the road in Tallahassee.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament. You can enter the bracket challenge at 1010xl.com right now. Monday morning, you can make your picks. Then when the tourney starts Thursday, print your bracket out and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free Miller Lite, and bracket challenge winner gets 2 tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details. Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway for all your outdoor living needs. Let them show you how a durable paver driveway can enhance your home. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
I'm Hacker, and I'll get you more Gator Chomps during the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. New episodes drop every Friday. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts and at 1010xl.com.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. Tomorrow is our in-store card show from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Look for cards from all the major sports. Plenty of options at our monthly card show. Tomorrow from 9 to 4, it's Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Frank Frangie here from my bank, South State Bank. South State has been committed to delivering world-class customer service that businesses like yours and mine can count on. From personalized support to cutting-edge banking solutions, South State Bank has blended the trusted traditions we all value with the innovation you need for tomorrow. Whether you're managing cash flow or investing in growth, South State Bank is here to help you move forward. Visit southstatebank.com or visit your local branch today. That's South State, member FDIC.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in-ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
XL Primetime having a great day. Beautiful Friday. We're going to finish our show up talking Jaguar ball, then get back to a little bit of the players' talk, and then hand it off to the Frangie Show. They're all fired up and ready to go. That's for sure. And so when we this is a work in progress. I think everybody would agree with that, is that you got to make sure that you start with whatever free agent moves you make and then start to build off of it. So let's make this the 10-10 take, JJ, if you don't mind.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
I love Sonny's. You can go to any one of your area Sonny's and enjoy some great barbecue, lunch, dinner, plan ahead, get a big party, maybe to watch the final round on Sunday. But I say this all the time. I love the protein, okay? I love the ribs, the chicken, the pork, the turkey, the brisket. I love it all. But if you don't have them sides, you're missing something. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Am I right?
Slaw, baked beans,
Yes.
whatever it is.
You're missing something. So that is the draft.
Is a redneck roll a side?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right.
That's such a good one. But that's the draft and the free agency put together, okay?
Yeah.
You got to have both of them. And this football team needs to restore order in the worst way and in the fastest way possible. And that's get some goods, maybe not greats, in the free agent world, and then pair them up with these guys that they think they're going to identify. So that's the 10-10 take. And so let's just kind of finish off our conversation. And I feel like, Matt, whenever we say this, did they get guaranteed starters? We don't know that. I think Bakari definitely represents a guaranteed starter. Lewis, a guaranteed starter. A few of them, Hainsley, maybe. Yeah, that's probably. Well, actually, one of the tight ends is a guaranteed starter.
Hainsley's going to have to.
Yeah, when they're two tight ends. So they got a handful of starters, but they still have plenty more work to do, right?
I mean, you would think that Hainsley has to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
would think so.
You're not paying a guy like that to be your second center.
And I think a guy like that is one of the guys that still has an opportunity to develop. I thought he said yesterday in the press conference, he said, all you have to do is watch one of the games that he played this year, and you'll see who he is and who we think he is. And they are who they are. And I think he's got to be a guy that they're counting on, but, they may get one in the draft.
I mean, you got a center, a guard, a nickel corner, and a safety. I think Eric Murray's got to be a starter, too.
They're starters.
That's four
and then
starters
one of the
right
tight
there.
ends is the second tight end, which is a starter.
Right.
So,
and I'm trying.
I mean, honestly, De'Ami Brown is, he's right now he's among the first three, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
and I don't.
Too.
Well, I don't.
You don't
mind.
like him, but he.
No, it's not that. It's not that. Okay, because this is what, and we talked about this off the air.
Yeah.
You said, he had a look how he played in the playoffs, and I said he fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
And the Eagles got 7 points out of it. And I said, and if you were a coach, what would be the first thing you said to him?
He fumbled the ball.
Right. Thank you.
Hey, everything you did was great, except for you fumbled the ball. And so I'm with you. I had picked him on a touchdown prop that day, so I was really sick over the whole thing.
Yeah.
But the idea. I'll just give you an example, okay? And I don't know whether this is going to prove to be the truth or not, but I want to keep an eye on this. I liked Devin Duvernay coming to Jacksonville because he represented a special teams opportunity. He was accomplished there, and I also liked the idea that he had a chance maybe to step in to a slightly bigger role when it came to receiving the football. And he could play a couple of different positions. Diami can play the same thing. Primarily, and I may be wrong here, Coach, but I thought primarily he was outside, but definitely played the slot some. I think that's how it was. And so I see this guy as a guy that is on the come, on the up, compared to maybe a Duvernay.
Yeah, and that's what I said to Matt. But again, Bigsby, for an example, he fumbled the ball, but guys can develop, and hopefully that's something that they can correct. And
Jamal Agnew fumbled the ball at a very important time.
But I see him as a guy that's can be developed.
Okay, but same thing, Jamal Agnew. He got clobbered for the fumble. Of course he did, because they were in a position where they might have beaten the mighty Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Right. And so, those things will live in infamy. But as long as that guy gets back out there and makes another play, that's what you're trying to hope for, because they're all going to make mistakes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. And so now you're just looking for that guy. Okay, I got to be better. Next time up. Next time my number is called, I got to be better.
If Diami gives you 65 and 900 yards and 5 scores, he can fumble.
Yeah, and that would be pretty stellar if he were able to put that together. And now you got to project who that next guy is, and it's going to come in the draft. And then BTJ, I don't quite remember what our forecast or numbers were for him, but it was probably in the neighborhood of, 60 footballs, kind of maybe what you just named.
Yeah,
right. 60
Very
footballs, 800 yards north of that, maybe 750 north of that, and get in the end zone a half dozen times if you can.
He did a majority of that with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, with Mac. You take a look at what Mac did. Touchdown.
And an offensive line that
Trevor did.
Right, and an offensive line that couldn't protect the quarterback.
Yeah.
And he still had a giant season.
Right.
With not a solid run game at all. With not a solid run game.
Yeah.
And so that's what they have to have happen. And if they can get to that point where they're consistently putting an offensive product out there that can get the job done. And I keep saying it, Coach, and it's real when I say it. You've got to have an offense that people fear. And they didn't necessarily have anything that scared the hell out of them.
Gladstone or Liam, I believe, said that when he said that you when that offensive line walks up to the line of scrimmage, you got to know who they are and what they do.
Right.
And I don't think that was the case this year. I don't think anybody feared anybody in the offensive line.
No.
But that's absolutely right. You got to put the thing together, and the thing I like is that they're bringing their guys in to do it, and I want to see what they do.
All right, speaking of bringing guys in, that, JJ, if you don't mind.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, this is via Seth Water on X. The Jaguars are hiring Jake Timme from the Rams as Senior Vice President of Football Analytics. Timme was previously Director of Data and Analytics with the Los Angeles Rams. He follows James Gladstone from the Rams to the Jags.
And that's another guy. Gladstone was primarily in charge of the draft. At least he's been given a decent amount of credit.
Strategy,
there you go.
and all that.
And so would this guy fall in that same category?
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, I think strategy is what it is. It's
right.
Okay, here's what we want to do. Here's how we can get it done.
Right.
Whereas analytics is, okay, how does this fit, numerically with everything that's going on?
He will be the Senior Vice President of Analytics.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and that's
he's putting his guys around him.
Yeah,
guys he trusts.
And I think he might be a guy. I don't know how this analytics stuff works, but I know that, for example, there's every head coach in the league now has a guy with a book standing next to him. That when there's a critical situation, should we go to fourth down? Should we do this or that? The guy looks at the book. Oh yeah, well it's 53%. Okay, I'm going for it here. So he may be that guy. I don't know. He may be the guy or he's the guy that's in charge of putting it all together.
Numbers. Yeah.
Comes up with the numbers.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Let's at least kind of keep on that topic, just as far as what they have done, and just basically filling out this entire either coaching staff, front office. Another guy comes in. They were able to get a strength and conditioning coach that Tony Pacelli told a great story that they were able to pull him away from Buffalo. And so there's a lot of positivity, and I'm all about it, okay? I want to see it, but I do agree with what Gladstone said. We ain't just about winning the offseason, okay? Mr. Offseason optimist that I like to call myself. I want to be an in-season optimist, okay? Right. I want to know that they're going to win ball games instead of go in and suffer another one-score loss, close but no cigar type of feeling. That'll drive you a little crazy, that's for sure. I see one of my volunteer chairs here. Okay, Nate Dogg, who he was like the pride of Duval for a long, long time. Big Jaguar fan. And then they plucked him and took him down to South Florida. And look, he's an honest businessman. He needed to make a move. He went down there, but he
traded Teal for Aqua.
But he makes it back up here as a former volunteer chair, and he listens to 1010XL all the time, don't you, Nate Dogg? You do. That's what I love. So even though he's in South Florida, he's still listening to what's up in the 904. Yeah. We appreciate it. I've seen several volunteer chairs, and I was joking, Timmy Tresca yesterday, the volunteer chair hospitality area is right behind Palm Valley Village.
Right.
And so I try and keep track of my steps. I want to log 10, 15,000 steps, whatever. Tresca logs 4 steps out to 9 Green and then 4 steps back to the chairman's tent. Okay?
He's not helping his waistline at all.
No.
And he eats along with that?
Well, of course. Yeah. And he was all mad because Syracuse got knocked out of the tournament. So that sent him maybe back into the tent a little bit more. But I love all my volunteer past chairmen because they did so many great things. And I still marvel at what Lee Smith told us the other day. The 2,200 volunteers this year will put in 66,000 hours of service.
Yeah.
So, JJ, if you don't mind, just one more round of applause for them because it just blows my mind that they put it out there every single year. So thanks to all of them. Yep. That's for sure. It's XL Primetime hanging out on a beautiful Friday here in the Palm Valley Village right behind 9 Green. If you are coming out, drop on by, say hello to us, or say hey to the Frangie Show.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
It's been a beautiful day for golf in the second round of the Players Championship, and a lot of good golf still left to go in Ponte Vedra. RJ Saunders here with you. This Players Update brought to you by Universal Roof and Contracting and Heroes Lawn Care. Not too much change at the top. Ashke Bhatia and Minwoo Lee holding the first place slot at 11 under. JJ Spawn good for third place. He's at 10 under. However, not too far behind them is Rory McIlroy. He finished his round shooting a 68, was 4 under par on the day. He's 9 under for the tournament. That's good for fourth place. He's making his 15th appearance at the Players Championship. His 9 under 135 total is his second lowest 36-hole score at this event. His low 36-hole score at the Players, 12 under 132. That was in 2019 when he won the event. He's tied for fourth with Colin Morikawa. He shot a 65 in round 2 and was 7 under for the afternoon. He too is 9 under while in Ponte Vedra. Speaking of Colin Morikawa, his 7 under 65 matches his low 18-hole score at the Players Championship. He previously did that in round 1 in 2023. Ludwig Oberg, Justin Rose, and Ricky Castillo amongst those who are currently even at the Players Championship. Siwoo Kim, he is 3 under. He's tied for 31st. Your next Players Update will be in 20 minutes. I'm RJ Saunders.
For many, it's the happiest place on earth.
At 17 in Players Championship.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard updates.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling.
And Beaver Toyota.
On 1010XL.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Jags fans, here's your chance to score a trip to Green Bay for round 1 of Draft Night. Through the Everbank Draft Night Experience Sweepstakes, one lucky winner and a guest will be there live and in person to see the Jaguars make their first pick. To enter, visit everbank.com/draft by April 4th. That's everbank.com/draft. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 3/3/25 to 4/4/25. For official rules, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/draft. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Trying to figure pricing at most AC companies is like listening to an auctioneer.
Who wants an AC tune-up? Do I hear $3.99? How about $2.99? No, let's drop it. $79? Do we have a deal? Going once, going twice? Sold!
Not at Duck Duck Air Conditioning. We make it easy. We're offering a free AC inspection. No gimmicks, no fine print, just a completely free checkup from our highly trained techs to make sure your AC is ready for summer. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule. Duck Duck Air Conditioning, because free is better than bidding. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 14, 1954, Milwaukee Braves future home run king Hank Aaron homers in his debut exhibition game against the Boston Red Sox.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have 2 choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beard's has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses in fine print. Beard's has all the top designers, including Tacori and Viraggio. Beard's doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beard's Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beard's in the St. John's Town Center.
Hi, it's Rick Ballou. I hope you'll join me and some former NFL players for an incredible event at the end of March, the Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf and Tennis Challenge. March 31st at Marsh Landing will support single-parent families in their fight against cancer. An opportunity to win sensational prizes, but more importantly, we will bring meaningful hope and support to the lives of families affected. To sign up, go to LoneWarriorFoundation.com. That's LoneWarriorFoundation.com.
This free agency profile is brought to you by Universal Roof and Contracting. Experience the universal difference.
Trevor Lawrence has gained a weapon at the wide receiver position as the Jags acquired De'Ami Brown from the Commanders. Brown had his most productive year last season season where he had 30 catches for 308 yards and a touchdown. The signing provides Lawrence a chance to move the ball even further down the field, and it's very likely that Brown can improve upon his new career highs while in Jacksonville.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Guys, my takeaway is this. It's on. Because once free agent's over, now all the individual workouts go for the draft.
Right.
And coaches will be going out, involved in along with personnel guys. We're getting ready for the start of football around here, and that's what excites me more than anything else.
Yeah, we're 6 weeks from the draft.
Yeah.
6 weeks from the draft.
Comes charging.
Think about that. Then you got minicamp. We are on our way. You're right. The season has kicked off. My takeaway is it's going to be, we haven't even talked about this, it's going to be a hell of a weekend, SEC basketball. A hell of a weekend.
It's true. We haven't talked about it.
There's those games, and I said this yesterday, Joe, those SEC tournament games look like Sweet 16 games in the NCAA tournament. You've got teams just clawing and fighting. Auburn had to hold off Ole Miss today. Beat them by 5.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of jockeying for position in the NCAA tournament for these teams. I think Texas got in by beating Texas A&M, and I don't think Vandy's going anywhere. They might have 14 teams in the tournament.
Right.
14 for a conference that Ken Palm, the computer guy that does the ratings, says is far and away the best conference ever.
Yeah.
The best season by a conference.
We were talking about it yesterday. That number and with that Texas win and Hayes both were talking about this, how quickly it could go from a baker's dozen to 14. Well, then that game between Kentucky and Oklahoma, it was sensational. Yeah. And Oklahoma gets knocked out. They're still a 6-12 team. Is that right? Does that sound right, Matt?
They're in.
Still a 6-12 team inside the conference, and they're still considered good enough to be one of those 13/maybe 14 teams.
They'll be like a 9 seed.
Yeah.
They will.
It was a great game, and who was it? Owe, if I have his name right, who hit they had 5.6 seconds left, something in that neighborhood, inbounds, length of the floor, runs the bottom line, avoids stepping out of bounds, avoids contact, and win. Yeah. It really was awesome. And so those are the moments, and I know that we still are at a point where we may not be 100% locked in to conference championships, but they're still so much fun.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, there's no way in the world I could have been a basketball coach.
Yeah.
Not because I'm 5'6", but because it was. Listen, I'd have been thrown out at least 4 or 5 games during the season.
Yeah,
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Too many words that shouldn't be said on radio. Is that
just the whole? Well, no, I mean, yeah.
Anyone who approached getting tossed from the Jaguars press box, okay, just as a former coach.
Yeah, but that wasn't his fault. That was a certain media member's fault.
Yeah, but still, he made enough noise. He knew he was causing problems. He knew he was about to get tossed. But yeah, that's how fired up Coach gets. There's no question about it. And look, it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about basketball, this is why I love it so much. You're in, you're dead. You're in, you're dead. You're in, you're dead. And it's back and forth. And if you just take that Kentucky-Oklahoma game, Oklahoma looked like, let's just say, trailing by 7, 3.5, 4 minutes to go.
It was
trailing by 5, 2 minutes to go. And you're like, okay, they got it. They got it. No, they don't. No, they don't. And Oklahoma took Kentucky right to the wire.
Yeah.
Right.
Who do you think is one of the hotter teams right now? I guess we have to see the way these conference championships finish
In the
up.
SEC?
Well, no, just period. Because Cooper
I think
Flag.
Florida is.
Yeah, oh yeah. And
I'm going to throw a dark horse into this.
All right.
okay.
BYU Cougars.
Oh, you think
All
they're
right.
getting hot at the right time?
Let me tell you something. They had 18 three-pointers in the game, the last
nice.
game.
That's Jimmer Fredette stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can shoot. This Sawyer kid for them is big time.
Yeah.
They
I'll
beat
tell you
Kansas
that.
in the tournament?
No, they didn't. No, they beat Kansas by 40 during the season.
40.
Yeah. Bill Self absorbed some of the
This
worst
was a
losses
rough-
he
this
ever
is
had.
rough, the
Yeah.
worst.
As a
Period.
head
But
coach.
BYU is hot right now. They may lose the conference tournament because Houston's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
But don't count BYU out. They can win any game when you can throw up threes like that. I
Yeah.
can tell you that.
I just
How
happen.
about that little knowledge piece
Oh,
right
he's
there?
a hoop.
Well, listen.
He's a hoops
How about
man.
that?
They beat one of the other teams, Iowa State.
Right.
That's how they beat them. They threw in.
You know how good they are.
Yeah, they threw in a bunch of threes.
Here's the other thing. I'm talking to Kyle Parker yesterday, former Clemson quarterback, former Clemson football player that made it to the College World Series, and we're actually just kind of lobbing insults back and forth, basically, is what we're doing.
Yeah.
SEC versus ACC.
Right.
And about how good they are in baseball right now. Clemson's pretty good. And we talked about the fact that Florida and Clemson in the Super Regional last year, Florida was able to knock them out. And I said, bro, would you have ever imagined a world where there would be 14 SEC teams and 2
crazy.
ACC teams?
It's crazy.
I can't imagine. And he put up the Manziel money sign to me. I'm like, are you telling me that there's not enough money in the ACC? He says, not as much as in the SEC. Yeah. And he may be right.
Yeah.
He may be right.
He's 100% right. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
But
that's the genesis of the Florida State argument.
Okay, but my question to him quickly was, I just didn't think they would spend that money on basketball.
Yeah. Well, but Florida has been there.
Yeah.
I mean, they won the 2 championships, right, with the national championships.
Oh, yeah. It was, that 4 years of football and basketball for Florida was one of the greatest runs ever.
Absolutely. I mean, and they're back. I mean, this Golden guy's gotten them back.
But I guess what still kind of blows my mind is that Matt talks about a $20 million budget that you're going to need to pay players, and then you still have the NIL on top of that.
Yeah.
I just didn't think that meant that much money was going to basketball.
Right.
And they've
It's not really.
Yeah.
It's about 13 that will go to football.
Yeah.
And about 5 that'll go to basketball.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 will go to all the other sports.
All the other sports.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but I just feel like we have seen such an uptick in talent, the coaching level, the player level, the stars that are in the SEC. You're talking Player of the Year candidates. You're talking a lot of really good players. And look at what Walt was the first-team All-American. Sears was the second-team All-American,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about some really, really good players. And when I talk about All-American, I think it's pretty safe I could use that to describe this man right now.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Our man, the embedded and shredded Hayes Carline joins us now.
Great to see you guys.
You're an All-American.
You know, in some things.
Yeah.
Come in here. You need to get into the picture.
Nah.
Huh?
I'm fine.
He's got 2 hours of being
Carline,
thank you.
Is
Coach.
that
Thank you,
that
Coach.
former Gators kicker Collins
That
Cooper out there
is
with you?
Collins
That's what I
Cooper
thought.
right
That's
over
what I
there.
thought, man.
Wave.
Nice.
Yep.
Yes.
He is right over there. So we're having a blast. And
well done.
Boy, what a day out here.
Oh my God.
What a day out here. Yeah. He told me he bumped into you at a Target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
you
random.
You wrote a great story about him that he really
Years ago,
appreciates. Yeah. Well, you covered the Gators what years?
96 through before the start of the 2000 season.
Okay. So you got there right. Kind of that was 96. I think was right when he was in there. Yeah.
FSU fans may accuse him of still covering the game as we speak right now.
Yeah.
What years did you cover Florida?
I only covered them like 20. I only had one football season. So 2012. So it was the 20. I got 2 basketball seasons, but basically just 2012 and a little bit of 13, and then I got on
and then
the
went
Jags
to the Jags beat.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, when you're elite like that, you only stay at the college.
Yeah,
level.
right,
well,
sure.
A little
Yeah,
bit, and
yeah,
then you
yeah.
go
Of
right
course.
to the
Yeah,
Jags.
right. Yeah, that was
You
it.
just don't get embedded and shredded
That's
by
the truth.
just
Right.
being a guy.
Right. Thank you. Right.
So who did you see out there? Who did you like today?
I tell you, it's how about Morikawa?
Yeah,
You worried about the scar tissue from last week, and showed a lot of mental fortitude to this point. Kind of a solid day yesterday, but then to shoot 65 today, and you gotta love seeing Rory McIlroy up there.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So. You kind of know that at this tournament you could have some names that a lot of fans maybe aren't that familiar with, but and I have to think you guys can tell me a little bit better. But in terms of, are we seeing in the afternoon group? Are we seeing guys making big runs?
It's funny. Most of, at the very least right now, based on this leaderboard, most of them were able to make their hay early. We've seen a few guys that have been able to come up, but Akshay was out on the golf course early. Minwoo Lee was out on the golf course early. Ricky was out there. Obviously, Morikawa, like you're mentioning, when they came through. Morikawa with a 7-under day, I still believe he has the best round. No, I take that
He
back.
almost aced 17. That was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he was about an inch away from.
It's such a gettable pen, too.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they want.
Yeah. Because they know they're going to make it really difficult, obviously, for the weekend.
Yeah. So we were just kind of scanning and looking at some of the guys a little bit down the board, a little bit guys that. So right now we
Cut's
have.
at -1 right now or even?
It's even right now is the cut. And we have 76 players, including Aldrich Potgieter, that has a chance to make the cut. It would be his first players here. But Oberg, who, JJ, you and I picked Oberg, right?
Yes.
We're sitting on the cut line, bro. He is 1 over through 9 today, and he's sitting right at
2 double bogeys yesterday.
Really? Wow. It's crazy.
And
so he's at even.
He hit his second off the scoreboard at 9. It looked like he was in jail up on the hill, still chipped and putted for birdie. So he still can get it done.
It's interesting because we haven't had an elite player that this is their, quote, home course in a while. Like you go back to Vijay Singh and Jim Furyk. And it made me think of something that Furyk used to say when he was still like one of the best players on tour.
Yeah.
And he used to say, he was like, I play this course a lot living out here. But what you don't understand is it's only like this for this week.
Very true.
So when you're playing this course other times of the year, it's not set up like this.
Yeah.
So there's maybe a little bit of an advantage, but he kind of always emphasized it's not the advantage that you might think. I mean, you get the creature comforts of home, obviously, which is nice, but in terms of the stadium course,
it's true.
It's totally different.
And because they go through all these seasonal experiments on how they're going to grow grass and all that kind of stuff. And so you're right. Billy Horschel, who was another guy that plays it here all the time, he's among the top 10 right now.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and it would be an awesome win
really
for him.
cool, actually.
Yeah.
It would be the biggest of his career.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've seen.
And he's won a FedEx Cup, right?
Yeah.
He's won the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's won the FedEx Cup, but this would be his biggest.
It would be.
And then you figure there's only been a few of them that have been able to do that. Fred Funk, David Duval, Mark McCumber. There aren't too many others.
Yeah.
But those guys that were able to do it is pretty dang cool.
Absolutely. If Billy could get this one and then maybe get a major in the next couple of years, I mean that Hall of Fame resume would start getting close to the line. If he gets 2 majors, he'd be a lot because 2 players or 2 majors and a players.
Right.
I think you're almost an automatic.
It's an automatic.
And to have the FedEx Cup. As well.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. He's obviously a great guy, so he'll have a lot of fan support out here, and we're gonna have a great Frangie show coming up. Lee Smith will join us, the executive director of the Players Championship, so that'll be a lot of fun. He'll give us the latest, give us maybe an idea of weather for Sunday. Ooh, we love hearing those roars.
That's at 9. That
we
might have
heard
been
a
an
roar,
eagle.
and so that'll be great having Lee Smith on, and then Pete Prisco will join us at 5 to talk all things Jaguars and NFL. So it should be a fun Frangie show coming up. Come see us. We're at Palm Valley Village.
All right, brother, man. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
1010XL hanging out here throughout the rest of the day. Definitely enjoyed our time here, Coach. We always appreciate you hanging out with us for sure. Maddie, we'll see who hangs on, who's buying lunch, and who ain't.
I got 3 top 10s right now.
Yeah.
If I blow this one.
All right.
I got one below the cut line.
Thanks to Florida Home AC. Don't forget Florida Home AC Friday, and you can check them out. Order that tune-up now before it gets really hot. You can log on FloridaHomeAC.com. We done. JJ, thank you, bro. Wish you were out here. Coach Campo, Matty Hayes, Joe C. We will talk to you on Monday. Frangie Show coming up.